Bo Nickal has big goals, and they include one of the most talked about names in the UFC, Khamzat Chimaev. In a recent interview, Nickal made it clear he believes a future matchup between him and Chimaev could be one of the most exciting fights in the entire promotion, right up there with John Jones versus Tom Aspinall and Islam Makhachev versus Ilia Topuria. I think right after Jones and Aspinall, the most exciting fight is me and Khamzat, Nickal said. That's something the fans need to see. While he's still early in his UFC run, Nickal's confidence isn't lacking. He's set to face former one champ Rinya Dera on May 4th in what many believe is his toughest test yet. But if he keeps winning, he sees a collision course with Chimaev as inevitable, especially with Chimaev expected to face Dricus du Plessis for the middleweight title later this year. Nickal also weighed in on that potential title fight, saying Chimaev's grappling could be the key difference. The striking is pretty even, but Khamzat has a massive advantage in grappling, he explained. Dricus won't have a game plan for that. The only two guys who can match that pressure are me and Khamzat. There's no official date for Chimaev's title shot yet, but UFC President Dana White is pushing to make it happen in the US this summer. And if Nickal stays unbeaten, fans might just get that wrestling-heavy showdown down the line. Conor McGregor might have 2 fights left on his UFC contract, but he's now hinting that his next chapter might not involve the octagon at all. During a recent BKFC press conference, McGregor dropped a bombshell, revealing that he's seriously considering stepping into politics, especially in light of recent events in Ireland. Something happened to me. I went to the White House, and my heart bleeds for my country right now, McGregor said. There's something else for me. That's in my gut. And that's kind of where I'm going. While he didn't officially announce a retirement, the implication was clear. McGregor's focus is shifting. He spoke passionately about the situation back home in Ireland and said he's no longer thinking solely as a fighter. Instead, he's thinking about how he can make a bigger impact off the canvas. I'm happy with what I've done. Greatness doesn't rush. The comments cast further doubt on his long-teased return fight with Michael Chandler, which was expected to go down sometime this summer. Despite Chandler's efforts to push the matchup forward, McGregor now seems less committed to making it happen, and the longer he waits, the more questions arise about whether fans will ever see him back in the UFC. McGregor's age, injuries, and newfound political aspirations are all adding fuel to the speculation. At this point, even his most loyal fans are starting to wonder, has the Notorious already fought his last fight? Set to face Kelvin Gastelum this weekend, Pyfer told MMA Junkie he's looking to be the first man to knock Gastelum out, something no one has ever done in the UFC. I love the matchup, Pyfer said. He brings it. He's exciting, but I want to be the first to knock him out. That's the goal. Gastelum is making his return to middleweight after a run at welterweight and a string of tough fights. While he's trying to re-establish himself in the division, Pyfer sees this as the perfect opportunity to boost his own name, and he's not short on confidence. Kelvin's last few performances haven't been what they used to be, Pyfer said. I know my teammate beat him, Sean Brady, but we're different fighters. Sean's a grappler. I'm a striker with power. Pyfer, nicknamed Body Bags, is coming off a dominant win over Marc-Andre Barriault, and he believes a highlight reel finish over a veteran like Gastelum would push him closer to the top 15. While he respects Gastelum's durability and experience, he's aiming to overwhelm him with aggression and clean, powerful shots early. Even though the Mexican crowd won't be on his side, Pyfer says he's ready to silence the arena and prove that he's a real contender at 185. This fight's about making a statement. I'm not just here to win, I'm here to finish him. Let's focus on someone else. Michael Chandler's name has been floating around a lot lately. Not just because of his upcoming fight, but because of the long-running rumors that he's been using PEDs. Even though Chandler's been tested throughout his career and never popped, some fans still point to his physique as suspicious. And this week, Chandler finally addressed it head-on. In an interview with Covers, the former Bellator champ made it clear he's not letting the accusations get to him. It's water off a duck's back. I could get tested every day for the rest of my career, and people would still say I've got Dana White privilege, or that Dana's covering for me. Chandler said he's heard every conspiracy theory in the book, from diluted samples to fake test results. But at the end of the day, he trusts the work he's put in and says only 3 opinions matter: his family's, and his God's. And, while he's focused on his April 13th fight with Paddy Pimblett, Chandler hasn't stopped eyeing that massive payday with Conor McGregor. He revealed that he plans to call McGregor out again after the Pimblett fight, hoping to finally make that matchup a reality. I'll do my job on April 13th and then call out Conor again. If he comes back, I'm fighting him. If not, I'm open to Islam in June. I've got options. Chandler's also hinted at a quick turnaround if the McGregor fight doesn't happen. With no clear #1 contender at lightweight, he's not ruling out stepping in to face Islam Makhachev on June 29th, depending on how fast he recovers. From Pimblet, whether it's McGregor, Makhachev, or someone else, everything for Chandler starts with a win in April. Nina Drama is under fire again, this time for showing support for Conor McGregor's political ambitions, while previously blasting others in the MMA space for far less. After McGregor shared a headline suggesting his political run in Ireland was under attack, Nina replied with a tweet reading, "President McGregor." That one post sparked major backlash across the MMA community. Critics immediately pointed out what they see as blatant hypocrisy. Nina had previously condemned MMA YouTuber, the MMA guru, for making a joke about a female reporter, calling him a vile and pathetic human being. But now she's endorsing McGregor, who's still facing serious legal allegations tied to a sexual assault case. The MMA guru himself responded, posting, "What if I told you that while Conor was pinning down his victim, he called her a fat pig and shoved an apple in her mouth? Would that change your mind? I don't even think he's guilty, but it's wild to see you support him while trashing me for a joke." The community didn't hold back either. Many called Nina a sellout, accusing her of siding with big names like McGregor and John Jones to maintain access and grow her brand, while going out of her way to publicly shame smaller content creators. She's the biggest McGregor and Jones fan, but trashes others for way less, one fan posted. Complete double standard. Others pointed to a pattern of Nina using moral outrage selectively, depending on who it benefits. While Nina hasn't directly responded to the criticism, the moment has reignited the conversation around influencer integrity, favoritism in MMA media, and how far people will go to align themselves with power, even if it contradicts their own values. Bo Nickal may be one of the most decorated NCAA wrestlers to ever enter MMA, but his next opponent isn't planning on avoiding the ground. He's planning to go right at it. Ahead of their May 4th clash, Rinya Derer told MMA Fighting that his goal is to make Bo wrestle and prove he's not afraid of the hype. "I think I have to make him wrestle," Derer said. As we saw in the Paul Craig fight, he looked nervous on the ground. "I think he's scared of jiu-jitsu. I want to force that out of him." Derer, a former ONE champion and experienced grappler himself, is considered Nickal's toughest test to date. And unlike most opponents who try to stay standing and survive, Derer says the key to victory lies in the clinch, where he believes he can control the pace, land damage, and break Nickal's rhythm. "This fight is won or lost in the clinch," he explained. "I'm working on knees, elbows, trips, getting to his back. That's where the fight will happen." Nickal's last bout at UFC 290 wasn't exactly a showcase of striking brilliance. Though he got the win over Paul Craig, critics pointed out his discomfort on the feet and occasional hesitation in scrambles. Derer thinks that hesitation will resurface, especially once he starts putting pressure on. Still, Bo has never been taken down in MMA, and his wrestling credentials are unmatched. But if Derer can drag him into uncomfortable positions, this fight could reveal just how far Nickal has come, or how far he still needs to go.